Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Living Large Las Vegas. My name is Kobe Sherlock, and today, back in the lab, Mr. Derek Parent. Derek, say hello to everybody.
Hello, hello.
Guys, today, listeners, we're bringing a very special guest right here to the podcast, somebody that is a resident here in Las Vegas, a friend, and I do want to introduce him to you now. This is Mr. Adam Gentz, who is the owner of Strength Center, and Adam has been a resident here for about 20 years. And Adam, I don't want to steal your glory, so I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about yourself here to our listeners.
Well, it's first of all a pleasure to be with you gentlemen today. A gentleman might be a little bit loose term, but we'll go with it. a little bit. It's a little bit. Cool. I mean, I've heard stories, but, you know, for today we'll be gentlemen. So I moved to Vegas in 1998. I took the job as head athletic trainer at Green Valley High School. And for a little extra money, I got a job at a really awesome athletic club called Club Sport. For all those Vegas residents and Henderson residents that have been here for a while, remember the good old days of Club Sport, which was the marquee athletic club in Henderson back in the day. And that was kind of like the be-all, end-all. Like everybody was at Club Sport. So I was fortunate enough to get a job there, I think in September of 1998, working as a part-time personal trainer. Well, a funny thing happens along the way. You meet a couple people, which end up being clients, and these clients being very influential hotel executives start referring you to their friends. Say, hey, I want you to hook up my guy and this and that. You know how the whole Vegas thing works. And next thing you know, you got this roster of hotel executives and construction company owners and stuff, because I was the 5 a.m. guy. When you're the new kid at the club, you got to work the 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. shift. I've never been up at 5 a.m. in my life. So I'm sitting there, I just have to discover coffee and all that to keep myself going. So the cool thing was the guys that were coming in early were your hotel executives, company owners and stuff, because they had to get in and get out. So those are the guys you hang out with early in the morning. Next thing you know, they become clients. They start the whole referral thing, just like, you know, business 101 stuff. And next thing you know, you got this roster of folks that are really enjoying what you're doing for them. It's helping them feel better, lose weight, be healthy, and that parlays directly into how their job performance was. And you know, and so this whole fitness thing kind of takes off, and I totally didn't plan it that way. I was in the world of sports medicine, and my goal when I moved to Vegas was to, you know, get a couple years experience at a high school level and then, you know, take that to a collegiate job. I always wanted to work at a big university. You know, it's like college game day. You know, you got Alabama, LSU, or Notre Dame, or USC, just this big, you know, college sports thing. And I always wanted to be a part of that, like game day, football, because that's what we did as athletic trainers, and then you could teach at the university as well. And so that was the game plan. So here comes not even plan B, this whole fitness thing happens, and it's like one of those things you just realize, well, I'm actually not too bad at this. This thing works, and I was enjoying it. So after having this roster of clientele, by the time I was 26 years old, I was basically working for myself, and you do the athletic club thing for a while, then you kind of, you know, that runs its course, and you're like, I got to do my own thing, just because you just want to keep growing as a professional. So you break off, you do the independent thing for about 5 years. So I was just literally bouncing around all over town. I'd go to Summerlin, I'd go to Lake Las Vegas, I'd go to parks to train student athletes, I'd go to the Strip to train entertainers. So I'm like living in my car for like 5 years, just bouncing around, taking equipment in and out of my car, and you're doing that whole thing. Then after 5 years, like, I'm tired of being in my car. I'm tired of eating 90% of my meals in my car, and you're just going. And, you know, one of the good things that came out of when our economy crashed, you know, like we did before, like real estate was very affordable. So as a mobile trainer, that I had a roster of clients, but I didn't have a home. So I was able to negotiate good, you know, commercial leases and just literally push all my chips to the center and say, all right, I'm going to try to make this work. I don't ever want to be that trainer that sits there and says, oh, I want to open my own gym, you know, this whole thing that you know, you hear those stories every day. Well, then do it, you know. So that's what I did. I just kind of pushed all the chips to the center tables and opened up Strength Center in 2010. And he said, all right, let's roll the dice here and see if this works.
Where is Strength Center?
Strength Center, we're in Henderson. We're located at the cross streets of Stephanie and Horizon Ridge. Most people are familiar with the world-famous landmark of Metro Pizza in Henderson, so we're in that same plaza. And, 10 years and running.
Tell me this, man. I'm listening to you as you kind of chop through your journey there, and it sounds like you. I love how you expressed about the roster and just people that you jumped around the strip to work with. Of all the clients that you've been working with, over the time, have you ever developed almost a mentor-mentee and or strong teacher-student relationship, whether you're the teacher or the student? And what did you take from that person?
Well, I tell everyone that I'm in the relationship business, very similar to you guys. You develop a relationship with your customers, and that's ironclad. So the roster we have such a range of people you work with and help. You help the student athlete, you help the active aging population, you work with folks with special needs, you work with hotel executives, business. So you work with a little bit of everybody, and every one of those relationships is valuable. And so whether it's myself or some of my staff, we do our best to try to help everyone as far as just feel better, whatever their health and fitness goals are. It's just every customer is pretty valuable.
So so your client's not necessarily the bodybuilder, but it's your client is the person that just wants to be in physical peak condition.
Yeah, one of the things is like fitness is kind of there's a lot of flavors with fitness. Like fitness is like restaurants. You got different cuisines. Like fitness, there's so many different ways people like to exercise. You like I always say, but there's a lot of subcultures to fitness. There's the yogis, there's the runners, there's cyclers, there's the CrossFitters, there's the the people like to do the hot classes and the cycle and all that stuff. And our niche was always the functional core performance type training. That there was a lot of athletic performance type of stuff mixed in with it, and along with just being lean and being strong. If you look at a cover of Men's or Women's Health, that's like our poster guy or poster girl, just to be very fit and healthy. So we were never into the bodybuilding thing, because everything in our gym, we don't have any machines in our gym. Our goal was always to teach them maximize the performance of your body, mobility, and just be more athletic in nature, whether you're general population or you're an athlete. And so that's what we just teach people to move better and feel better. And so we didn't. You don't need a machine to do that. There's a sticker on there that says, here, push this way, and it does one plane of motion, and always will do the same thing. So you don't need to pay me to do that. I mean, a sticker will tell you how to do that.
So the person coming in, are you also, not only straight the conditioning, but also diet, and you go through?
Yeah, it's all lifestyle stuff. Like fitness is just not showing up at a gym and doing a bunch of exercise. There's a whole lifestyle component to that you have to create structure and discipline within your life. If you work with people. If you have a goal in life, whether it's to be a student and achieve a level of success, there's a lot of commitment in all areas of time and just effort and work. So we provide the workouts within a gym setting, but we also give them the tools to make better lifestyle decisions, and that includes proper rest, proper nutrition, and just creating that balance that will lead to ultimately achieving a goal of whatever that goal is.
So it sounds like it's really specialized. You do a specialized program for each individual person.
Correct. It's very customized. That every person's different, so everyone has a different set of goals, and you work within what their goals are, and you just make it happen.
Well, fitness is huge. I know, for me, the older I get, the more I want to be mobile, right? So, when you're younger, you work, and you put on weight, and I did, I put on some weight, and as I got older, I wanted to be leaner and mobile. Now I'm 45, and I think like, okay, how am I gonna move when I'm 85? Right. So exactly what you're doing is something that inspired me.
Right. It just the body. None of us are going to beat Father Time, but there's this thing of just having a quality of life as we get older. And the human body was designed to move, not sit in a chair all day. So what we try to do is like when we do our training, promote movement. Movement's a good thing. The body was designed to move, not be still. And to work get your body frame down to what it was designed to be, like the right frame size, whether you're 5 foot something or you're 6 foot something. But just get your body to, perform at its best, regardless of what your age is. I mean, age is, funny. People think that, as I get older, you got all these fallacies of getting older, but with some of our best clients our most fit clients are north of 50, 60 years old, because they're moving, and they're moving efficiently.
Yeah. There's a show on HBO. It says either you're in the orbit or you're moving, and they talk about the secret to life, like Dick Van Winkle. He was saying the secret of life is keep moving.
Yeah, bottom line, just keep moving. You couldn't offer anybody a better bit of advice. Just keep moving, move efficiently. And if your job requires you to sit, that's okay. We all have to earn income and provide for our families, but make sure you move as much as possible. We weren't designed to be sedentary.
I think that message can span across all walks of life as well. Obviously focus on fitness and getting moving, but even in the individual work day and just getting people into action and keeping them moving, that message definitely can be inspiring on many levels.
Right. And the nice thing about fitness is it's really evolved into this communal thing. Like you see, I just read a great article in the New York Times recently, like how, like the fitness, health and wellness communities of different fitness entities has become almost like modern day, like churches. Like when churches came up and about, it was a really great opportunity for people to come together and believe in a common, belief. And that's kind of what fitness is like. People like to belong to whatever athletic club or organization because it's a very communal thing of like-minded people, whatever entity you like, whether it's a strength training thing or it's an aerobic thing, but it's a very communal experience and people get to share that together. So that's part of the whole experience. So I always tell people you have to find the thing that you're going to be consistent at, and you have to enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stay consistent with it, and you're always going to be like chasing your tail. And so I tell people, whatever it is, just make sure you enjoy it and enjoy the people around you, and it will be very rewarding.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're proud of all your clients and everything that you've done, but there's one particular client that you guys did some special stuff with. You want to share about that story?
I would say probably the coolest thing that happened in this whole 20-year journey in fitness was back in the year before I opened up Strength Center, so it was about 2009. A gentleman by the name of Donnie Osmond, reached out to me. We had a mutual friend down at the Flamingo Hotel, and our friend Don had just signed Donnie Murray to come on and headline the show at the Flamingo. And he's like, you gotta meet Donnie. He's got some goals, and and a lot of them are health and wellness related. So I meet Donnie, and he tells me about this thing coming up called Dance with the Stars. And he's like, can you help me out with that? I say, yeah, but we got to get started as soon as possible, because with the Dance with the Stars competition, why you see a high injury rate in that show is because the demands of rehearsal are pretty stringent. Like you allow these do a 2-minute dance on TV, you don't realize the whole week of like 6-hour days of rehearsing that dance that these folks have to do. So it helps to be in really like peak physical shape. So Donnie and I started like this whole 9-month like journey of getting in shape and train him very like you would train an athlete, because for him to start rehearsals for that at age 52, like you have to be in the best shape of your life. And so this really cool journey starts. And when he did the fall season, it was the most nerve-wracking thing in my life, watching every night. Like we worked 9 months for this thing. Like, please make it through tonight. And so like this thing happens where he just keeps winning and winning and winning, and ultimately gets to bring the Mirror Ball trophy back to Las Vegas. And so myself as a performance coach, that was like one of the proudest moments I've had as a coach, because the end game is always success and to win, whether it's achieving a goal or if you're competing for athletics, but we play to win.
Yeah.
And so to see Donnie hoist that trophy, and that definitive goal that we had set to win, was one of the most proud moments for myself, and not only for him, because when you're beating people half your age, you're throwing that whole age thing out the window, showing that, see, you can still do this, but you have to make a commitment to it, and commitment's huge. And that's what he did. He made a huge commitment to not only training for that, but also the Las Vegas show. So he a lot of times would rehearse for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, and then go do a 2-hour show that night at the Flamingo.
Wow.
And this was going on for several months. So I was just in awe of the level of commitment that Donnie was making, not only to his craft at the Flamingo as being a Las Vegas headliner, and but also committing to this, how important to compete on and ultimately win Dance with the Stars was important to him, and still maintain a very balanced family life at the same time. So I was like, this guy's unbelievable. This is Superman.
It's funny when people say there's not enough time in the day that defies that.
He defied that. I tell you
Yeah.
what, I've never seen. Like Donnie is, first of all, the greatest guy in the world. I mean, this guy, like, I never saw him have a bad day. Like, this guy was always upbeat, treated everyone with respect. Like, you couldn't ask for a better guy to work with. Like, he was just always consistent and just a model of what professionalism was. And it was just, my biggest takeaway from that is like, look, this guy's doing this at the highest level, and how consistent he was and how committed he was. That helped me, because soon after that, I opened up my gym, and I was like, wow, if I can just emulate this, I should be all right. And so Donnie was really, really instrumental in helping me as far as taking the next steps of my career and, you know, being a business owner.
I can't imagine the determination that he had to go through, you know, for Donnie to commit and make those commitments.
Well, he's been around for, you know, I mean, since I was a kid.
Since
I mean, he's been
kids,
around
yeah.
for, you know, entertaining. He's had an amazing, him and his sister, they have an amazing show that's been on the strip for over 10 plus years. I mean, there's no coincidence. I mean, the guy is, you know, I mean, after hearing the story, you know, I can
He's
see.
unbelievable.
Persistence, the will.
When we were in our recession, their show was still selling out every night at the Flamingo, which is a testimonial to like how great these guys are and how committed they were to their show. And I'm like, wow, we're in a tough time here in Vegas, and these guys are still killing it, like, every night down there.
Well, Donnie, if you're listening, please, you know, feel free to come in
Donnie,
and share.
He's the man.
I'd love to hear more about the will it takes, man. That's incredible, and I appreciate you sharing that. That's really a phenomenal story.
He's great. I mean, John, he was such a blessing for this city of Las Vegas when we were kind of down in the dumps there for a while. But their show was, you know, if you've ever seen the Donnie Murray show on the Strip, I mean, it's just pure fun and entertainment. And they did such a great job.
Man.
Well, you know, I'm curious too, Adam. You guys, how did you two meet?
Well, Derek and I are really fortunate. I think we both share the same viewpoint. We're extremely fortunate to be part of Leadership Henderson for the class of 2020. And he's a great classmate. I learn a lot from Derek when we have our group meetings. Like, I'm very in awe of what you guys have going down here. This is a first class operation down here, and you know, I feel like, wow, if I just copy what he's doing, I'm going to be all right. So Derek, my hat goes off to you. You got a great staff here. What they say about you, I don't believe any of it. I know they're just
Some of it's true.
Some of it, you know, but not
Off
all.
air.
Not
Off
all.
air.
Off air. But you've done a great job down here. This is first class operation, and you know, I'm going to do my best moving forward to make sure everyone takes advantage of the parent team as their preferred lender.
We appreciate that, man. That's incredible. I appreciate it. I
That's
try to
what-
copy him every day.
Yeah, well, some of the stuff you want to copy, but some just kind of don't.
That's all right.
I'd stay away from that.
When I met Adam, it was the same thing. We was one of the first people I met in that weekend we were talking about, and you know, just one of those guys, likable, just, you know, friendly, outgoing, you know, just amazing energy to be around. You know, it's just big personality. It's just really fun, and like, we have a lot of fun. Like, I think Friday we together. Last Friday we spent the day together.
Yeah.
And you know, we're at the table. He's like, "Why and I have been on the podcast yet?" I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, "What's
I'm
up,
like,
buddy?"
You just have to call Rachel. She'll plug you right in.
Let's go.
Tuesday at 1. It works, right?
There you go.
But no, I was so grateful because you are such a huge member in the Henderson, the community. Because when I hear someone who works out with you, like Kelly Green worked out with you, like, I hear nothing but great things. Like,
I
straight.
appreciate that. It's unbelievable. Like, first of all, Henderson, what a great community. Like, as we're going through this journey at Leadership Henderson, I'm just in awe of just how amazing, like, the community of Henderson is, and the powers that be that make this town work. And for, like, the folks we just met down at Sunset Station, and you know, the folks that we met down at Toro University, Nevada State College, it's like there's some really, really great people making this community better and driving it into the future. And Derek and I share the belief that we're extremely lucky to be part of this, and just like, how can I help out, or how can I contribute to this thing getting better? And it's just, you know, it makes you proud to be a Henderson resident. And
Absolutely.
you know, and I'm so glad when I moved here 20 years ago, I only thought I'd be here for like 2 years just to gain experience. And you know, I was tired of living in the cold in Iowa, and I just wanted to be like, deal with no winter for 2 years. I said, I don't want to be cold. And so I moved here, and like, Henderson became my home. I've lived in Henderson since 98 and have no desire to live anywhere else. And I consider Henderson home instead of Iowa. And I love it. It gets better and better every year. And, you know, meeting people like Derek is part of the relationship thing of what Henderson is. It's like, even though it's part of Vegas, but it's like this great small town of people that are just very like-minded and just, you know, want the same things out of life.
No, it's funny because that's the exact same reason why. Like, I didn't know how long I was going to be here, and I moved here 20 years ago from the Northeast to get out of the snow.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And but it's funny now. Like, I hate to complain, but it's a little cold.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it's getting chilly sometimes.
But
man.
when we first got here, I guarantee we had in this cold weather, and when we wake up in the morning, we still would have like shorts and a t-shirt on.
Shorts and t-shirt.
Then now we have jackets on, so
it kind of softens you up a little bit.
A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, Henderson leadership is we've done so much in such a short period of time.
Yeah,
like anyone that's ever thought about it, it's probably like I said this morning, it's probably one of the greatest leadership programs or experiences from a business perspective I've ever. I mean, the people are quality, top notch. The stuff that they put on in front of us, knowing what's going on, who's doing what. I mean, just to see the forward thinking of this town.
Yeah. And
we're the 20th class of 2020, so that's the 20th year. So we have a very special. We have a project coming up. It's iCare for kids. So we get to raise money for a great nonprofit in Henderson that's doing amazing things, for children to be able to see. So, that's some of the stuff.
First of all, hats off to Kelly Green and her staff at the chamber for just
for sure.
organizing this. They just did a first-class job all the way. And as Derek said, this iCare for kids that we're going to help out with, I can't imagine being in grade school and not being able to see the blackboard. Yeah. I just cannot imagine how that would limit your growth and your potential as a student, and by just not being able to afford a pair of eyeglasses. So the fact that we get to help out with that, and hundreds or even thousands of children now can get a pair of eyeglasses, when they're young, will not, have any missed opportunities and be able to learn and retain knowledge in the classroom and, hopefully reach their potential.
And listeners, if you're listening in about eye care, it's something that's been discussed, and it's something that we really are putting our efforts into. And so feel free to reach out to us if that is something you want to contribute to. Derek, where can they get you?
Well, you can call me on my cell phone, 702-354-1400, or you can always email Derek@theparentteam.com. I'd love to. We are also on social media, so you can find our links on social media. But I Care for Kids, for me, I believe because if you can't read by you're 14 or you're having difficulties in school, the dropout rate is astronomical.
I think it's
something like 80%, and don't quote me on that. It's super high. If we as a leadership team can help this when they're in like first grade, second grade, third grade, they can see the board and they can read, learn to read, or even if they're slow readers, at least we can help out that little bit to get them to see letters. That way they can put stuff together. So I think it's a great organization.
It is, because it's unfortunate some kids have, there's a social economic burden on some parents that they can't afford the eye care for kids, whether it's the consultation with the doctor or even just buying the glasses. So the fact that we can help some families that are struggling financially, it's a great opportunity to, do some good things for the community.
Eye exams, these kids, eye exams is super important, and we get to, help with that. So we're grateful, and, Adam, I would say, that's, in our partnership and in our friendship, I mean, not only the eye care that kids are getting, but but getting people healthy, knowing that they can move again and be mobile. That's huge, because someone that couldn't work before, and you were able to do something special with them, where now they can. I know for a fact, my mother had a really bad back injury, and she had a really difficult time moving. So there wasn't too many jobs that she could do. But you put people back together for they can do some of the impossible.
A lot of people, there are a lot of things in the human body that you can fix and repair and rebuild. And we try to help folks, be pain-free, be more mobile so they can do their job better, whether it's being a husband or wife at their job, if they want to stay active, if they, they're coming out of surgery. We're just trying to get people on the proverbial back on the game of life, and do the best they can. But being pain-free is a very important thing, and to, having a healthy body and mind is very important as well. And so we just, health and wellness is just not showing up at a gym and just doing a bunch of exercise. It's a lot more involved than that. helping people make better decisions on a daily basis, promoting as many things as possible as far as just living a healthier lifestyle. And I feel like our team at Strength Center has done a very good job of that over the last 10 years of really helping a lot of individuals make, just better day-to-day decisions that helps their body feel better, and ultimately they get a little bit better mental perspective on life and, moving forward. And that's what we're all about, just, helping people feel better.
How many staff members did you actually have?
We have a team of about 8 trainers, and I also have a group exercise studio, which we have about 10, 15 group X instructors for that. So we have a nice balance of small private and small group training along with, dance classes.
And what are the hours typically?
Well, everything in the main gym is by appointment as far as personal training. So we'll have trainers there as early as 6 a.m. and all the way up to 8 p.m., by appointment, whether you're doing a private with your trainer or you're doing a small group class. But we're pretty much 6 a.m. all the way up to 8 p.m.
Adam, where can they reach you if any of the listeners want to come get involved and check out Strength Center?
Our direct line, if you would like, just leave a message and you'll get a nice Donnie Osmond greeting on our voicemail. Is our company line is 702-551-2305. That's our direct line as far as if you'd like additional information. Or you can email us at info@strengthcenterlv.com. And glad to help you out. We work with a variety of different folks. And, if you have a goal, we can help you out. And, I tell people, you have to make a commitment. Like anything, if you want success in life, you have to make a commitment to education. You have to make a commitment. Like Derek, you had to make a commitment to make this work. And there's a lot of hours involved, but it's a huge commitment of your time, and you have to have a goal and a vision. And so when we bring in folks into our gym, we're very goal oriented and results oriented. It's like we're going to help you set a goal, and we're going to work towards that goal. So, and it's a very semi-private setting. So we're totally different than a big box gym where there's, hundreds of people running around at the same time. We're very exclusive. We fall into that category of boutique fitness center. And a lot of people like that. We're a neighborhood gym, boutique. Like how you say mom and pop restaurant. Yeah. Well, we're kind of a mom and pop, fitness center where people like that intimate nature, where it's them, the trainer, and maybe a few other folks around, and reaching some goals.
Yeah. Well, I know that going to one of these health clubs here, you're not going to get you're not going to get the quality trainer that they're going to get by working out with you. They're not going to get the results. I've been around for a long time in gyms, and the trainers are people that have memberships.
One of the things at Strength Center, one of my goals was coming out of the gate was to set a very high standard as far as the staff that we have at Strength Center. Like education's a very important thing for being a staff member at Strength Center, that we really put a high premium on education and teaching proper functional movement to all our members, because proper movement is key. And, education is important, and experience is important, and being a good teacher and being a good coach and having patience. So I was very selective as far as the staff members that we choose, because we take our job very seriously and helping people get better and improving them and building that relationship with them. So I'm extremely proud of the team that we've had, some I've worked with for 20 years. And, it's just a great, great team or family, whatever you want to call it. But I feel it like our gym is it's not a gym, it's a family. All our Strength Center members are family members. And so we try to exude that every day. And it's great. It's all about positive energy, and that's what we do.
I love everything you said, because that's truly, what it takes. You have to have commitment, dedication, a goal, vision. Mm-hmm. You have to have a vision. I think it's one of the most important things you can have in your personal life, in business, is have the vision. So
it is. And you'll see a lot of people like yourself in success, they had a vision. Like when you open up the parent team, you had a vision of how this thing was working. You see it. You see it in your head. You just got to make it happen. And with Strength Center, I just had this vision of, as I was an independent trainer, I said, I want to create this experience that people, like just regular folks, can come and be comfortable and achieve goals without the bigness of a big box. And they just wanted more a customized, specialized, intimate experience of training. And their time was money, where you just come in and get your workout in with your great coach, and then you roll out.
Yeah.
And go do your thing.
Well, I tell you, man, I appreciate you coming in and really just sharing your experience and your stories and really what you're about in Henderson. And I think it does just kind of encompass everything that Henderson is shown to be in growth, empowerment, and connectivity. That's what I'm consistently hearing across the board. So thank you, Adam. I appreciate you coming to hang out with us.
Appreciate you guys. We couldn't be more proud to be part of the community of Henderson. And a huge thanks again to Kelly Green and her team at the chamber to really, allowing Derek and myself to be part of this leadership group and to really, broaden our outreach within the Henderson community. We've learned a lot from that experience, and I look forward to many more years of friendship with Derek and yourself. And you guys are just doing a first-class job here. This is pretty awesome.
And we'd like to have a good time, but we definitely get it done. I appreciate you acknowledging that for sure.
You bet. I appreciate your time.
Well, I tell you guys, come back and see us right here on Living Large Las Vegas. Kelly, if you're watching 2021, I'll reach out soon. We'll get it done. We got to show up for this big class.
There you go.
But guys, thank you again, and thank you for sharing, Adam. We're definitely going to.
You guys are awesome.
I appreciate it.